Hello and welcome. This is the third video for organic compounds, and previously we've said that organic compounds contain carbon and are the base of all living things. We looked at the alcohols, we looked at the carboxylic acids, and for this video today we are looking at the esters. Now the first thing is I just want to go over a couple of characteristics and features of the esters. The first one is that they are made when alcohols react with carboxylic acids. We've talked about the alcohols and carboxylic acids, and you can go back and have a look at those videos if you need to, but that's the first characteristic. These esters are actually quite closely related to carboxylic acids in their structure. The next thing is that they have the functional group COO. So this is quite important because you can recognize a formula of a ester if you see the functional group COO in there. The next thing is that they are fruity, and by they are fruity I mean they smell fruity and they taste fruity, and because of this they can be used for fragrances, for perfumes, and for flavorings, for example in things like sweets. And the last characteristic here is that they are volatile, and that means that they easily turn into a gas, so they easily evaporate. Now the next thing is that we need to know one example of an ester, and this is the ester called ethyl ethanoate, and you do actually have to remember this name as an example of one ester. This is simply made by reacting or converting the carboxylic acid here that I've got in this picture. You can see the structural formula, you can see that it's a carboxylic acid because of the functional group here, but in the reaction what happens is that hydrogen is removed and we have a hydrocarbon chain that's added to this region here. Just making that bond bigger, shouldn't really do that. That's not quite a good diagram, but you get what I mean, and that's how that's made, that's how that reaction works. You're not supposed to know the details of this reaction and how to do it, but this is just one example of how a carboxylic acid can be converted into an ester, and this particular one is ethyl ethanoate. The equation for this is here. Again, you're not necessarily required to memorize this, but if you see it and if they talk about it in the exam, it'd be a good head start if you're slightly familiar with it. But basically we've got our carboxylic acid, which is ethanoic acid, we've got our alcohol, which is ethanol, and that's what produces our ethyl ethanoate. We also get a little bit of water as well. Okay, so that's basically an overview of the esters. If we were to look at a couple of other examples of the names, you can see by the type of names they have that they're very similar sounding, so you could probably recognize them as esters by looking at the name. So we have methyl ethanoate, we have propyl ethanoate, we have ethyl methanoate. So you can see by the kind of name that has that it's likely that it's an ester just by looking at the kind of pattern in the name. The last thing here on the video is just like a little recap or a revision of the organic molecules that we've been looking at. We've got alcohols, esters, and carboxylic acids, and if you've downloaded these notes from the website, it might be worth just going through and see if you can draw little lines to show which of these organic groups that these descriptions or molecules or formulas belong to. So if you want to have a go at that yourself right now, either on a bit of paper or whatever, you can do. I'll go through the answers in a moment and then you can see how much you've remembered. So I think the first one, the easiest thing to remember, is the functional group. If you've remembered that the functional group for alcohols is OH, and for the carboxylic acids it's COOH, and for the esters we just covered it's COO. If you know that, then you can look at these formulas and you can decide where they go. So for our alcohols we've got the OH group on the end there, so that goes with our alcohol there. This one over here has the functional group of COOH, so it goes with the carboxylic acids, and this one here goes with the esters because of the COO. Next one, I suppose a couple of examples or an example of each one might be good. So you may remember propanol is an example of an alcohol, ethyl methanoate is an ester, and methanoic acid, we've got acid in the name there, so that's a bit of a clue, is a carboxylic acid. And the next one, fruity, you may remember that as the esters, and the last two are ones that you probably might you may struggle a little bit to remember. It's actually just memory work from the video that we've done. But the one that reacts with sodium to produce hydrogen was our alcohol, and reaction with carbonates to produce carbon dioxide was our carboxylic acid. Okay, so just a little test there just to see how well you've remembered the 3 videos. But overall, this was a video all about the esters, the last one for the 3. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon.